I could have just done like a fan cast for a live action version of Oliver, but where's the fun in that? There's no cats or dogs or Billy Joel songs in that. Come on. What do you want? What do you expect me to do? Oh, please, sir, can I have some? Fuck that. No, we're doing Oliver and Company because it's a adorable little orange kitten, and there's this guy and this child, and she loves the kitten, and the dogs that sing, and I don't know. It's just a fun film. It's not a particularly great film. Watching it back today, it doesn't feel like it really ages so much as it was just actually never that great. I never never looked at this as a kid and thought, oh, that's a fantastic one. That's a true Disney classic there. It's fine. It's just fine. If they did it today in live action, I'm sure they'd make a good go of it on Disney Plus. I don't think they'd release it as a big cinema release. But either way, if they were to recast them all, and this is where it gets interesting, as it always does, because this is what we do. If they were to recast Oliver, for example, okay? It's just a young kid, someone who preferably can sing, but it's kind of, there's not actually that many songs in this, and realistically, you could get away with it being more the type of film where it's just soundtrack songs made for it. Phil Collins in Tarzan, or Phil Collins in Brother Bear. Let's just get Phil Collins for it, how about that? Or Billy Joel again, whatever. I want to see Seth Carr play Oliver. Why? He's just good. As young Killmonger, he was good at that. Yeah, I saw him in a Netflix film called The Main Event, which was one of the worst things I've ever seen, but I'm not going to blame him specifically for that. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's really bad. But he was good in Black Panther, and he's been in a couple other things since then, and he's still young enough. Because it's a cat. It's a cat. It's a cat voiceover role, even in live action. You can get away with him being slightly older and still doing it, and I think he can sing. I feel like I've seen him sing somewhere. And there's not a lot of kid actors who have really been tested commodities in singing, especially boys, so it is hard to know for sure, but I like him. I think he could work well in this role. I think he's got the voice to be kind of like, oh, scared little kitten. Yeah. Does that sound mean to say he's got a voice of a scared little kitten? No, I think it's fine. Jenny is way easier to cast because she's just a nice girl in live action, because she's an actual human character. She's just a nice kid. It's just nothing more to it than that. It's like The Rescuers as well. Just cast a nice kid as Penny. Not that, it's not that important a role, honestly, but she's got to look nice and be nice. I'm going to cast Darby Camp. Why am I going to cast Darby Camp? Partly because she's in my head, because she's going to be in the live action Clifford the Big Red Dog movie. Yeah, that's happening. I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm fine. And she was also in things like The Christmas Chronicles. She's always just that nice kid, yeah. I'm pretty sure she can sing. I think she can sing. And she's still young enough to get away with it. God, it's hard. It's hard when you cast these kids and you realize, oh no, that kid that I used to cast and everything, because she was 10, she's like 17. It's awful. But I think she can probably still get away with it. Also, Jenny, how young is she? Is it really important how young she is? I don't know. No, it's not. Dodger is the most exciting role to recast, because as much as Billy Joel just did it originally, it wasn't like a massive acting star that did it originally. You want somebody who can pull off both the charismatic group leader of this gang of dogs, essentially. They're not like a bad guy gang. Oliver's not getting mixed up with the wrong people here. Maybe a little bit, but he's fine. They're fine. Dodger's a nice guy. Dog. But you also want someone who can sing, Not maybe on the level of Billy Joel, but somebody who's confident doing that already. We don't have to cast kids anymore after those first two, so it's opening up a little bit more. I'm going to cast Ryan Gosling. Confident, fun, brash, charismatic leader of this gang of dogs. I can see it. I can see it all so clearly. I did La La Land, and Sebastian's role in La La Land was quite confident and fun, and singing, lots of singing. Very good at singing. He's very good at singing, Ryan Gosling. I feel like he's a weird person to cast in a voiceover role. I don't know if he's done much voiceover work, but it feels strange to cast him in a role like that. However, I think he'd relish the challenge. I think the singing parts he'd nail easily. I think that just being that sort of character he's been in La La Land, in The Nice Guys. God, I love The Nice Guys. I think he'd be fantastic at it. And I don't fan cast him a lot. I think I fan cast him in All Dogs Go to Heaven. I fan cast Ryan Gosling as a dog a lot. Does that say something? No, Tito is a Chihuahua and he's like Mexican. Mexican? Yeah. Yeah. And there, again, I don't think there's a huge amount of singing in the Tito role, but most of these roles I just tried to cast as if we were just doing like full on singing for everybody, okay? As such, the hyperactive, not really alpha male sort of character that you want for Tito, I'm going to cast Anthony Ramos. I really liked In the Heights. I really liked him in Hamilton. I just like his work with Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I haven't seen him in much else apart from that. And I would like to, and I think he's a great actor, he's a great singer, and again, he's good at those kind of roles where he's not like the alpha male, but he's not like a little bitchy kind of character. He is just a funny, fun character who doesn't feel the need to be like an alpha male. That's what you need in this sort of gang, because Tito is very much not like a threatening to be the alpha male or betray Dodger character. Like, you don't want to cross into that territory. I think Anthony Ramos has got the right kind of personality and character work that will be really good for a Disney film. I think he should be in a few Disney films or something. He'd be really good at this sort of thing, especially musicals, because he's so good at singing. God damn. Einstein's not a terribly smart character, and as much as I said I wanted to cast singers here, when it came to Einstein, I thought more like, wouldn't it be funnier if they all started singing and then he was just purposefully really bad at it? I don't know if Dave Bautista can sing, but I feel like I want him to sing badly either way. And also, the kind of not really intelligent but still endearing character, that's a good place to go for it. Bautista's great for that. And I don't like stereotype casting him in that, because he's come out in interviews and talked about not liking that before, I believe. He wanted to do June, for example, so that he could be someone other than Drax, you know, a character with a brain, sort of. I get that, but I feel like he's just a really fun character who's kind of perfect for what he did with Drax. So as much as I'm kind of like, I don't want to typecast him, that's what fan casting's for. Francis is fancy and British, yeah, and there are a lot of people you could cast to go fancy and British. I mean, a lot of people you could cast to go fancy and British. I'm going to cast Carrie Ellis. Why? Partially because he is slightly older, which I kind of imagine that for Francis in my head. There are a lot of guys you could cast, you know, Tom Hiddleston, Jude Law are a bit younger. I didn't want to cast any of them. I wanted to cast somebody who is a bit older, into like his 60s. Secondly, his name came to me again because he's starring in this Netflix film coming up called The Castle for Christmas, and it looks god-awful. But it reminded me how much I love Carrie Ellis in general. And thirdly, The Princess Bride. Rita, I'm not quite sure what to do with Rita as a character. She's nice. She's a member of the gang. She's chill. I didn't have, like, in my head anything immediate jumping to my mind, so I thought, okay, well, how about somebody like Scarlett Johansson? Because she's just got a very distinctive voice, which is very good, I feel, for voiceover work, for these kind of female characters who they can be a little bit sexy. We're talking about dogs. Georgette is different because she is quite a villainous character for the majority of the film. And you do want somebody who would be... I feel like you want somebody who can play really bitchy, but also come off as quite endearing, because they do kind of turn her at the end into more of a, well, anti-heroic character, I suppose. I want to cast Catherine Hahn. I need to cast Catherine Hahn. I need to cast her in more things. If they wanted her to sing, it would be great. It was Agatha. And if you wanted her to just be there to be memey and bitchy and funny, she'd be great at that as well. She'd be great at anything. She's fantastic. Fagin is difficult because what age is he meant to be? He just looks like a hobo, and he is. He just looks homeless. He's unshaven, got dirty clothes. I can't tell if he's 25 or 55. I decided to go for older, because I feel like it's easier to make this homeless guy more of an endearing character. These are his dogs, they're his friends, he's a good guy, as much as he can be. I just felt like it was easier to make him more of an endearing character by going older. And I don't know why, but immediately to my mind, after some thought, not immediately, it wasn't immediate with this one, no, it took a while. It came to my mind that David Thulas has been playing characters that are endearing, slightly older, and look a little bit homeless for years. Like Professor Lupin. Wonderful, yes. He does have a bit of a look that suits Fagin, I feel. Fagin's kind of like going like bald. He's got like some hair in the background. I feel like David Thulas would pull off that look well. I feel like he's fancily British, but could definitely pull off more of an American accent. Where it's all in New York, right? I think so. And again, it's just, I feel like it's easier to take somebody a bit older and make them that kind of endearing character, you know what I mean? Finally, Bill Sykes, and this is some typecasting going on here, I gotta say. Bill Sykes is just one of those villainous animated characters who looks so ridiculously, terrifyingly large and imposing that no real person looks like that. So if you're casting it in live action, you need to do something a little... You need to cast Vincent D'onofrio, yeah. You need to cast Daredevil's Kingpin. Why? Because he doesn't look like those Inhuman characters, but he gives off the imposing presence on screen of somebody like that. Which is as close as you're going to get. Also, he's just awesome as a villain actor. My God. Kingpin came out in Daredevil Season 1, and everyone went, oh my God, that's better than like 95% of MCU villains. Still is, but... it doesn't matter so much. That's just interesting to throw him in because he is great. And why not have a strong villain here when you have the opportunity? Can he sing? I don't know if it's D'onofrio can sing, but I would love to see him do a villain song. Oh, that'd be fun. That's all for this one, folks. There are so many more fan casts all over the channel. There's a lot more coming out in the channel. If you want to look for more 1-minute reviews and things like that, you can find them on Pop Culture Shorts or on TikTok. I started TikTok. I didn't... Never planned to, but I did. Let me know what else you want to see fancast in the comments. Do subscribe, because please. And like the video, because please. And you can't dislike it for long, right? You're just going to get rid of that.